Hey, how you guys doing? Hope you had a good day trading today. For me, I had a really good day. Things just seemed to really work out. I wish all my days were like this. So I'm going to go over a couple of the trades really quick. Hopefully, you guys get some good information out of this. And here we go. First trade I took this morning was on Roku, and so this trade was a good trade and a bad trade in the sense that I kind of just messed up, um, but I made money. I mean, I executed my plan, but I just kind of messed up the ending a little bit. So Roku's obviously a gap up stock on earnings today. You can see here on the daily. Everybody's probably looking at it today. And Roku has a history of just really running, right? So I've traded the stock before, and I knew that, right? So I was going to play the buy the dip in the open because people sell and take profits in the open. So that's what happened here. It kind of dipped down, and I took small size, not large size. So I took some buys here towards the bottom of this candle as it started to go back up, and then here as it started to kind of break above its first minute range. And then I started selling into the push, right? It's kind of hard not to take profits when you're looking at a dollar right in your face, right? A dollar move within less than a minute, right? In seconds. It's hard not to take profits. So I was scaling out here on the way up, but the place I screwed up was that I ended up actually covering all of my position or closing out all of my position, which I did not want to do. Because like I said, Roku has a tendency to just run on positive news, which as you can see here on the 5 minute, it's blowing up. It keeps going. And so my mistake was I sold out of all of my position by accident because I was just so excited about the move. I got $1.50 within seconds, right? So it's kind of hard not to take those profits. But I meant to leave some on the table for this next leg up for this big run. But what can you do, man? You just got to tell yourself that you're going to miss out on trades. This is part of the trading. You're not going to nail everything, so you just kind of got to let it roll off your back. So that was Roku. Next trade I'll go over was NVTA. NVTA was not a giant winner, but I had a plan and I traded the plan and it worked out nicely. So NVTA was a gap down stock from yesterday, right? So you see here on the daily, it was a gap down stock from yesterday. And so one of my favorite things to do is trade continuations, because continuations are, as they say, continuations are very consistent, dependable moves, most of the time, right? And also the thing I like about second day plays is that, they're not so in focus anymore, right? First day plays can be whippy because they're crowded, right? They're full of people, and then people are trying to take advantage of those people and trade against them. So sometimes first day plays can be really difficult, really whippy, really congested. But second day plays, they can be very clean and very smooth. So that's why I was looking on this one for a second day play. Obviously, in the very beginning, I was busy with other stocks, so I was focused on Roku and other things. But again, I had this on my charts, and I was looking at it, and this area formed this nice little wedging congestion with all of these top wicks, right? Now, I didn't like the fact that it was this far away from VWAP, because I like to trade close to VWAP. But with this flattening kind of congestion basing pattern with all of these top wicks, that's a lot of selling pressure, and it was holding cleanly below the 9 EMA. So I decided to take it short for the break of this base, and it worked out fairly nicely. It just wasn't that big of a range, and it didn't really really flush down like I wanted to. It bounced off this support area. So I took some covers into the half and whole numbers, and as I saw it here starting to slow down and bounce off of this, I took another cover. And then these were just, safety covers, right? As it went back up against me, and then as it went back up against my entry, I took more covers. Small winner, but I'm happy with it because I had a plan, I executed on the plan, and it worked out nicely. It just wasn't that big of a winner. So after that, we'll go to Etsy. Etsy was another solid trade for me today, another decent sized winner. So let's trade at Etsy twice. Just focus this up really quick. So Etsy gap down stock on earnings, as you can see here on the daily. And so it did what a lot of gap down stocks did. Had people covering their short positions right out the open. So right out the open, it pushed up higher. But then it kind of stalled out here, and it was a 3-bar play. So it was a big green bar and then a small inside bar. And then as it started to fail and go below this this inside bar, that's when I was really starting to pay attention to it. But I wanted to wait for it to kind of go down, also because I was looking at other stocks. I'm not going to pretend like I was focused on this completely. So it broke down below VWAP and it held, right? So I went short initially for this bounce rejection off of VWAP. A little early, obviously, but I was just reading the tape and feeling it, and it didn't go all the way back up here. So I got short here, and took a cover here at the base of this area, and then it just started to go back up against me. It wasn't quite done bouncing yet, so that's when I just covered out of my complete position. But then, like I said before, it finally did go up and tap against VWAP. Tapped once, tapped twice, held below VWAP, and at this point when it's holding below VWAP, and to me at the time looking like it was going to curl down, the tape was feeling pretty heavy. Went short again, held below VWAP, and I just covered into these pre-market levels. And let me go ahead and just move the tape over, and that has held a smaller portion of my position. And I just started covering, just reading the tape, started covering it to 60, bounced off of the 60 whole number, and I figured that the move was done. So I covered there, and it did do a big bounce back up to VWAP, as you can see on the 5 minute. And then from here, who knows? It may continue and take another leg lower, but I'm done with it. So that was Etsy. So we'll cover SCMP. We'll leave the lackluster trade for last. Stamps, STMP. This looks like a nothing trade, and it really isn't that big of a deal trade. Like, as far as it wasn't, I'm happy with it, but you know, obviously there's I could have done it better, as always. So Stamps gap down stock on earnings here on the daily. The reason I took it early, my cover early, which I'm happy and unhappy with, is that you know there was a pretty solid support level I had drawn out here from way back when, and so I took it for a 5 minute opening range break. But really, I'm looking at this on the 1 minute. I'm not really looking at the 5, but it just happened to be a pretty good 5 minute opening range break, which I noticed. Sold off, and then just did this nice little wedging kind of congestion pattern, and didn't really want to continue bouncing. So doing this, I went short. And then here, it looks like I took an early cover, which it sort of was. But you have to realize this was like 80 cents. Like within a minute, I had almost $1, right? And at that level, I mean, I've had enough situations where I was getting greedy and I want to hold for the bigger, fuller move, and it just goes up against me and it whips me out and stops me out, and then I'm cursing. So in this situation, I'm trying to be better about just taking my profits when they're in front of me. So in this case, 80 cents, right? 80 cents within a minute, I just covered my whole position, right? Also because, like I said, I had this big level on the daily not too far away. So 80 cents staring me in the face, a big support level down there. I just took my 80 cents and I ran. And obviously I could have got a more from it, but I'm happy with this trade. So visually, it doesn't look like much. It looks like I missed out on a lot, but 80 cents within a minute, I'll take that every day of the week, right? And then final trade I want to go over. It's not really a profitable trade for me. I actually lost a little bit of money because of slippage, but it's a pretty good educational trade. So here it was gap down stock, and it did its little morning push, and then came back down below VWAP. It was a little choppy. It was holding back up here, but then it started to do this nice curling pattern, which whenever I see this, I love seeing that. It's a pretty good indication of continuation in that direction. So went short above VWAP, anticipating a break, and I covered into this pre-market low support area, and then I started to kind of bounce and hold, and I had to stop here above VWAP. And so the 2 points about this are that was really 1 point, is that when this was getting up towards VWAP, there was a hidden seller, right? So this stock obviously was holding above the 9 to 20 in this area, right? And it was feeling like it wanted to go back up. Obviously, visually, it looks like it wanted to go back up. The key though is that there was a hidden seller here at I think it was like, I don't know, 1980 or whatever, 19 maybe 20. I don't remember exactly what it was. Right here, this hidden seller below VWAP. But when that hidden seller was coming up, and it was pegged on level 2, so it was just stuck at that level, and the hidden seller was he's gobbling up orders. And so seeing that, whenever you see a hidden seller and they're just getting sold into or bought into, and you should probably, that's just telling you that once that seller goes away, or when that buyer goes away, it's going to pop in that direction. So I should have known. This was my mistake. Seeing that, I should have known just to bail out of my position right there and sell into him, or buy back into him, right? Close out my position into him. Because when he goes away, the stock's going to pop, right? And so that being the case, me having a hard stop, right? When it popped, I took a lot of slippage because it just passed right through my initial stop order, which is down here. And that's when I finally got filled up here. So this was my mistake, a learning experience for myself also, but for you guys. Hidden seller, hidden buyer, it's going to pop in the direction, whatever direction that hidden buyer seller is in, and it's going to pop. So yeah, I took a lot of slippage, which just is small loser on that trade because I had this pretty good cover down here. But yeah, so that's a learning trade for you guys. When you have a hidden seller, hidden buyer, it's going to pop in that direction once that person goes away. So that's it. My trades for the day. I'm really happy with the day. Everything worked out nicely. It was a pretty big green day for me. So hope you guys found something useful out of this. Hope you had a good day in the market. As always, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, give me some feedback, show me some love. And that's it. See you guys in the markets tomorrow.